Hey guys, I'm still reviewing the Korean barbecue restaurants. I have my second location. I like to do 2 locations just to review. I'm trying to dress up my Korean barbecue. It's going on special next week. Looking at Korean barbecue restaurants in the area. There's about 5 or 6 that are rated on both Google and Yelp. And again, my process is just to go through the reviews, try to get a general feel for the quality of the restaurant, and if it's something that I want to, dig a little deeper into. And I'll look for some good and bad reviews, but just trying to see what item is reviewed a lot. And that's what we're gonna go through today. We are looking at Gogi Korean restaurant. It's on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie. I don't get to Metairie a lot, but there's not that many Korean barbecue options. So we're gonna give these guys a look. Yeah, so this place actually looked like it kind of went downhill a little bit as of Google reviews about 8-9 months ago. And a couple pinned it into around Christmas. It doesn't look corporate, so I gotta assume this is either a family affair or mom and pop. I hope something bad didn't happen. This is still COVID. One guy could hold a restaurant together, but it looks like a lot of extreme reviews. Like before last year to 5 years ago, all 5 stars. And then coming up 1 star. That's really kind of a shame, especially if this is supporting a family. I pulled a couple reviews for you. I'm gonna start with this one. This is the only review I'm gonna read entirety because I almost blew a gasket reading this fucking thing. This is a 1-star review from Gabby. This is her first review ever, and this was from this month, about a week ago. Gabby was so motivated by her hatred for her experience that she went and wrote a review on Yelp for the first time ever. Slightly disappointed, to be honest. Gabby, have you been lying to me? We tried calling to make a reservation since we had an activity to do before eating, and there was no answer. Each person in my party tried calling with no voicemail, so we just assumed they were really busy. Oh good, so they're busy, so you're gonna phone bomb the restaurant. So everyone loves you now, Gabby. I went to check their Facebook and Instagram, see the possible updates. Both were last updated around Christmas 2001. Not every restaurant does social medias, especially, they have like 400 5-star reviews. Like, social media is a sewer. If you don't have to do it, why would you do it? When we finally got there were signs in the window saying that the AC broke and we're closed till further notice. Those bastards. Gabby, they knew you were coming to town, so they wanted to screw you over as much as possible, so they didn't answer the phone because they knew you were calling, and then they decided they really got to screw with you. They didn't know what to do, so they grabbed a hammer and just went to town on their AC, got themselves like a $10,000 AC bill just to fuck up your day. So, Gabby, I'm with you. These guys, they're just so inconsiderate. But this isn't even the worst part. This is. We were looking forward to eating here since there aren't any Korean places back home. We're tourists. No! Whoa. And we are just sad that there is no indication anywhere that they were closed. Next time, maybe make a special voicemail explaining the reason of closing and regularly update your social media. Okay, that's reasonable. I have locked myself on my voicemail so many times, I don't even know it anymore. I don't do that. I try to do stuff on Instagram. You do have to communicate with your staff. Gabby, this is just not worth it, man. You drove by a restaurant that wasn't open. Like, get over yourself. Are you freaking kidding me? My God. I don't know wherever you are in this. I assume in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. God, open a freaking Korean barbecue restaurant in Baton Rouge. If you're this freaking good at it, then why don't you open it, and then we'll send Gogi up there and they can figure out how to get their head out of their ass. All right, so we do a good review. This is the thing that resurrects it for me and why I am going to go to Gogi and eat their seafood pancake. That was at Little Korea. They got really blown up for that. I want to see Gogi's take on it. But here is someone from, a week before that, and she's got 750 reviews, Danielle, and it's just a really nice 5-star review. I have nothing negative to say about this place and a whole lot of positive, which means a lot to me given I grew up eating home-cooked Korean food my whole life. All right, she's had 750 reviews, so she's gonna couch it that she's an authority figure here. Place is authentic and yummy, appetizer, and she mentions a Korean pancake. So this is a really nice 5-star review. Thank you, Danielle. Again, a hi-fi review, but from someone who obviously goes to an S-load of restaurants. She gives me confidence to go check it out. She mentioned the one thing I want to take a look at. One more. This is from Sabrina. She's only got 4 reviews, so I don't really love this person's credibility here, but it's actually a pretty thoughtful one. So this is my first Korean restaurant I've ever had, and I had an overall good experience. I was someone who really loves spicy food and was not disappointed in the dishes we got. I was put off at how it seemed like half the menu was unavailable. So this is why I pulled it. This was from February 2022. Supply chain is just starting to hit, so I'm not gonna throw Sabrina too far under the bus, but I literally went to a really good restaurant in the uptown area it's like a standby. It's very good. It's not crazy expensive. It's not cheap. 80% of the menu is shrimp dishes, which is fine. They have limited staff. They have limited access to goods. I get that. I think a 3-star review for having a limited menu when we're struggling right now, and we've gone over this before. We can't get labor. We can't get equipment. We can't get equipment repaired. We can't get parts. and it's impossible to source anything. You gotta bear with us, man. There's like third staffed restaurants are now fully staffed. And that's why we're getting long wait times and really upset people. This is nothing personal. We want to sell you food, we're just struggling. So Sabrina, I appreciate the bad review. I get where you're coming from. You know, it seems like you're very empathetic to the server who's all by herself, and you thought the food was good. So again, this is a serviceable review. None of them are really good that I've gone over today. They were better for Little Korea. Maybe this is just a Metairie thing. Maybe everyone in Metairie doesn't really know how to fine dine. I think Korean barbecue is fine dining. But, you know, it's enough for me to go see. So let's go over to Gogi and let's get a pancake. And then on the Google reviews, as I said before, they're usually all high fives. Google's kind of lighting them up a little bit, but there was some saying the soup is pretty good. And maybe we'll get one of those. So let's go review this place. All right, we got Gogi. Now, I will say some of the reviews were correct, that this place was understaffed. It looked like it was a little bit overwhelmed for maybe 20 people. There's a young girl behind the counter who was super sweet. She managed my expectation well. She told me it would be about 30 minutes to get the food. 20, excuse me. It took about 10. So they might be reading these reviews and taking it to heart, which is always what we want to see. Now, I ordered the baked corn again. You know, Little Korea was so great, and there's that one dish that didn't really work, so I really don't want to give up on this, even though I'm kind of going with the oichumen for a side dish. I've been testing that with customers, and they've been liking it. But, you know, it'd be great to swap out cheddar cheese or cheese whiz on the Korean barbecue cheesesteak with something extra Korean. So here, looks like we got a little bit of raw onion, cream corn. Okay. This is still a little too sweet for me, but at least there's like a little something in here. Can't really tell what that is. It's like a little sweetness of, you know, it's probably just straight cream corn and a little bit of tang. You know, maybe they're just using a cheaper type of mayonnaise. That's always a trick. You get really cheap food sometimes, and sometimes there's a lot more kick to it than you think. But yeah, it could just be better mayonnaise or worse mayonnaise, or it could just be a little bit of celery. And the raw onions are good too. It's a small portion, but it's fine. You know, this is like supposed to be a side. I know I saw a lot of people bitching about the size of the portion, but I mean, it is $5, I guess, and it's cream corn, but they're on Veterans Highway, so the rent is crazy high. Tobika? This is just like a Korean street food. It's fried rice cakes, and it's spicy, and a little bit of cabbage in here, so I guess like a little bit more kimchi. This is kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever seen kimchi in this dish, but this is great. Ooh, this is a second level of heat that I really appreciate. Like, I'm a traditional Italian cooker. Grew up in an Italian family. Was taught to cook from my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother. I like gnocchi. I make gnocchi from scratch. It is a labor of love. It is in no way efficient. I'm always amazed to see restaurants have it on their menu. But I like making it. I like making it for people I love because it's a labor of love. And sometimes you just got to kill a day. This is not that, but it's the same texture. This is, I'm going out drinking. I'm getting my rice wine, which I don't have my rice wine today, which is why I'm angry. This is something, if you got a beer in your hand, some rice wine, this is what you want to snack on. Let me try the cabbage or kimchi. Oh yeah, that crunch is great in there. Overall, it's not huge portion size, but I mean, they're on Veterans. The rent is probably astronomical. The place was clean. It wasn't overly cool. There was only 3 people there. The kitchen looked clean. For the price, I think I paid $18 for an appetizer and a side of baked corn. Yeah, it's pricey, but you're on Vets. You're not on the West Bank. If you're in the area, and they're quick, and she's, like I said, she managed my expectations well. She had a lot of people. There was one waitress. I think this is very much worth the trip, especially for like spicy food. This is great. Tabake? Someone correct me on this. Yeah, this is something I would definitely order for the table and just pass around as opposed to eating straight up because it is spicy, but it's freaking great. Yeah, this is Gogi and Veterans. Go check them out. So it's kind of funny that Danielle, that when I went in there, the AC, it was turned up a little bit. Like it was kind of hot in there. The back door was open. I don't know what was going on there, but the area was fine. And the woman was running around. It was a bit confusing what I had to do. So, you know, someone as picky as you, someone who demands everything brought to them, maybe it's better that you weren't there. Maybe it's better that they were closed and you couldn't go in. Because, I mean, if that was the comment you got from not being allowed in, you probably wouldn't have loved it. And yeah, Danielle, I'm right with you, man. Like, that was the super duper Yelper. Super duper elite Danielle. She had a 5-star review, and it's just like, it's great, man. They fire on all cylinders. They are what they are. I think Danielle was spot on. So I think Danielle's got the best review of Gogi. And my review is, yeah, Danielle's spot on. Go check out Gogi.
Danielle, you get the 5 cheesesteak.
No, fuck you. I'm not getting that cheesy. All right, we're done. Eat this.